Hey.
Let's get it!
Broadcasting to you from a little grass shack in the middle of the Pacific.
Live in the place to be.
Well, they're actually in the Bay Area.
Yeah!
But they are the premier Pacifica show that shines a spotlight on positive Pacific Islanders.
You listening to the sound.
Role models coming brown every Thursday night at 6.
East to west, we getting hurt.
Brought to you by Pacifica by Design. It's the iconic Faika podcast with your hosts, Naki and Carl.
Hey, everybody. It's Faika Thursday. As you can see, Carl is nowhere to be found. He is off today, so we're giving him a break. So, it'd just be me just chit-chatting for the next 15 minutes until our special, amazing, crazy, amazing guest checks in, Malo, who will be checking in from Southern California. Carl has a day off, like I said. So, give him hell when you see him the next time. Lots of things going on in the Bay Area this weekend. I just want to touch on tomorrow night. We will be at Nesian Market Night at Le Mauta. Community space. It's Samoan Solutions community space in Burlingame on 833 Mahler Road. I'll be talking about it again during community announcements, but you will see us there. They're saying that they always say is keep our dollar brown. There'll be PI vendors there, PI food vendors. You'll see Mobligated. My window's open. Levasa. Who else? Oh, Sunga and Spice, which is a candle company that I think I shared their candles. They are crazy amazing. They have like an ocean. I'd grab it right now, but I'm sitting. The candle is a turtle in the ocean. It smells so freaking good. So last week there was no events that I have been fighting a cold and a cough, but eating everything and their mama. And so this week on Wednesday, every week I have Bula Pies, which is Bula Pies in Vallejo, California. If you haven't gone, I go every week. And my favorite pie is mince and cheese. And yes, I'm talking about food. I always talk about food. And so if you know me, if we're going to be friends, I'm going to eat some food. So we have community announcements coming up. I'm so used to Carl bouncing off of Carl, but he's not here. So I'm just going to wait until Malo pops in. As soon as Malo pops in, then I will bring him on. He has started a new organization that we'll be talking to him about next Friday at SCDC. They're having an event that we'd like for you to show up to, or we'll be going live on our on PBD and on YouTube. But this past Tuesday, we had Pacifica Grand Rounds, which is for doctors, for PI doctors, right, to get their credits instead of going to a class. If they listen to the lectures that we have every third Tuesday of the month, then they can get credit for their CME. I'm not a doctor, but I couldn't tell you. But we had the most amazing Dr. Silta Afili, Patrick Thompson, who is one of the major researchers in New Zealand. He's a senior lecturer in global studies. And then let me read this to you. The director of Fofonga for Pacific Research Excellence, New Zealand's only Pacific research platform in a university, and senior research fellow in the Faculty of Medical Health Sciences at Waipapa Taumata Rao, the University of Auckland. So Dr. Thompson is of Samoan descent and did a research called Manalangi. And he was the the main principal investigator for the Mana Langi project. It's for the first Pacifica Rainbow Plus. It's a queer LGBTQIA plus MVP FOF plus health well-being project, and it was funded by the Health Research Council of New Zealand. Like, how badass is that, right? Carl is tuned in. Thank you, Carl. Um, he's saying, "Wish he was there." Yeah, me too, because I'm sitting here talking to my damn self. Yes, he says, here's what he says about Bullet Pies. Naki's a shareholder. She spends so much at Bullet Pies. I really do. I love Bullet Pies. And if you are in the Bay Area, I highly recommend that you go. So I always get the mince and cheese, which reminds me of a pierogi. And they have, like, curry chicken. They've got a pineapple pie. And so Bula Pies in Vallejo on Springs Road. You have to go check it out. And I'm trying to see who's tuned in so I can say hello. So we have Narendra Reddy. Thank you for tuning in. Tekawita Denise Alu. Thank you for tuning in. Share. Malo will be on in a couple of minutes. I'll put my glasses on so I can look smart. Simon Itamalo, thank you for tuning in on Facebook. We appreciate it. You can also watch us on YouTube. Share. Malo is, and like I said, Malo is coming on. But this being Pride Month, So Ta'afili, Dr. Patrick Thompson, came on and spoke about Mana Langi research, which happened in New Zealand, funded in New Zealand, but he got his PhD in, I want to say, University of Washington in 2018, and his master's degree in international studies from Seoul National University. I'm talking Korea, like South Korea. Like, how crazy is that? And so he did Pacific research methodologies in a Korean queer studies context, which was published. And his book, now you got to go check out his book, From Sleepless in Seattle to Seoul U, Korea Gay Men and Cross Culture Encounters in Transnational Times. So it's sounds amazing. I'm going to go check it out. Also, if you want to check out Manalangi, go to www.manalangi.com to check out everything that you want to see. See you soon. Yes, Manumalo. See you soon. So that happened on Tuesday. It's on our Facebook and YouTube. Go check it out. Pacifica Grand Rounds. Dr. Reno Samoa was on as well. He is a co-host, and I love that program because last month we had Dr. Raphael, who talked about liver, and so you can learn a lot. People, go to the doctors. Go to the doctors. Okay, so D Palanisamy, thank you for tuning in. Lakshmi Amu, we have a lot of people that watch us in Fiji. And did you know that we're ranked 20 in their podcasts? In Fiji. I don't know how that happened, but I'm grateful and I appreciate y'all for tuning in from Fiji or wherever you're tuning in. I'm asking you to share this show because Malo will be on pretty soon. And then I will go over our community announcements. That's everything that's happening that I know of in the Bay Area from like this weekend and beyond. So if you are in the Bay Area or you want me to promote something, tag me in your post or email it to us at polybydesign at gmail.com or Naki at pacificabydesign.com. Send me your flyer and we'll promote it and we'll add it to our community announcements. July 21st, Cree and I, Matias Marcelo, thank you for tuning in. So Cree, who's with all my Usos, her and I are trying to get to Washington State for the Samoa Cultural Week, which is happening July 21st to July 27th. And I think we're like trying to go Thursday, July 25th, because they have a Samoa fashion show that's at 6:30. So we'll go up there at like in the morning. And then Friday, they have their Samoan community dinner. Okay, you know I'm all about food. I'll be there. And then Saturday, July 27th, which is always promoted by Big Oos Radio, they have their Samoa Pacifica Food Festival, which happens at Mount Tahoma High School football field. So this is a great week. It's going to be all week, but we're only going to show up on Thursday. And then right after the Pacifica Food Festival, that starts at 11, we going to exit right after that. So there's that. So if you're in Tacoma, Washington, or in SeaTac, come see us in Washington on July 25th, 26th, 27th. But they have a whole schedule for Seattle. Also, it's graduation month. So congratulations to all the grads that graduated this month and last month. I had like family galore graduate. So congratulations to everybody. And then if you didn't know, one of our team members, Leah and Ty Faleava, had their first baby, Luca. He was born last week, and mama and baby are doing fine. So congratulations to our Leah. And I only shout this out because they've already posted on social media. I ain't just gonna blurt it out and get in trouble, okay? So Leah, who is part of our PBD team, congratulations to our Leah and Taifa Lava and their little cutesy producy son, who I haven't met yet because I'm all jacked up because I've got allergies and everything, and it's that time of the month. That not that time of the month, but it's allergy season. It's that time of the every day, okay? So I didn't mean that. But yeah, so congratulations to our Leah and Ty. Like I said, go follow her on social media. She is also known as Flip It Girl, and she takes old furniture or furniture that she finds on the road, um, refurbishes them, or she flips them with a pacifica twist, and then sells them on our social media. So check that out. So I'm going to go to our community announcements, and then we will get to Malo. We're excited to have him on and talk. So with our community announcements, I need my glasses because I'm old. I'm old. All right. So our community announcements. Nesian Night, Nesian Market, like I said, is happening tomorrow, Friday, the 21st, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Le Malta Community Space. Come and join them in supporting our local Pacifica businesses. There will be lots of Pacific Islander food and merchandise to check out. And then we have our OSA Wrap 2024. The Office of Samoan Affairs and OSA Healthy Living brings you OSA Wrap 2024, happening June 26, 27, 28, a 3-day interactive workshop that prepares you for life. This workshop is a foundation building strong communication skills, understanding healthy relationships, and goal setting for a brighter future. Follow Office of Samoan Affairs for more details or scan the QR code on the flyer. This summer, Samoan Solutions has a number of youth workshops, and they have 2 5-week programs happening at Lemal to Community Space. Programs are focused equipping our youth with tools for college and career readiness, career pathway skill development, and mental health support. One of our programs is our very own Pacifica in Focus. Please follow Samoan Solutions and register your youth today. Fasola Malu is happening Thursday, June 27th at 7 p.m. at SEDC. Podcast style conversation with the Pacifica Trans Men Network as we celebrate pride and community with our queer and trans Pacific Islander cutie pies. Register today and set your reminder to pull up June 27th. And then we have Malo on, who will be giving us a little bit more detail of what's going to happen. So I'm excited about that. And then we have the Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander Future Project Working Group. Applications due by June 30th. So hurry up. You ain't got time. It's due at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. Get your application in early. Don't wait until the last minute. You know how we are, people. We be last minute all the time. Scan the QR code to apply. And Pacific Feast Festival is happening. It's the 3rd annual Pacific Feast Festival. It's happening Saturday, July 20th and Sunday, July 21st at PayPal Park in San Jose. All ages are welcome from 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Their theme this year is peace, love, and unity. Get your tickets now. The National Samoan Chiefs Council presents the Samoan Flag Day celebration on August 3rd at 10 a.m. at the Presidio of San Francisco on the main parade lawn. There are many ways to participate and enjoy the festivities. It is a free family event. Scan the code on the flyer and follow them on all social media outlets for more details. All My Usos Family Day, their ninth annual Family Day barbecue on August 17th at Gilman Park in San Francisco. Please register your entire family if you plan on attending by clicking the link in their bio. There will be free food, free resource, free family activities, face painting, STEM activities, free haircuts, you name it, it's going to be there. Also, join us in Elk Grove, California for the first ever nationwide personal development conference on Friday, September 6th. Coach V's Empowerment to Success. Experience unparalleled insights, high energy vibes, and transformative frameworks. DM me for early bird tickets. How about that? So that's my community announcements. I'm so excited for our guest that's coming on. I had to put my glasses on so I look smart, so I can be actually be worthy of being just kind of look smart. So I'm worthy to be next to Malo, who he is like super, like Carl always says, wicked smart. So let me bring on Malo. Hello, brother.
Talofalova, Naki, I miss you.
I miss you too. I miss you too. I'm so grateful to have you here and to spend this time. Thank you for blocking off this time for me. I just want to read a little bit of what I wrote or what we have for you, just so people that have been living under a rock don't understand, and just do a light intro of Manumalo is a fatane, meaning in Samoan, in a manner of a man, or Samoan transgender man. He strives to be a better human every day and thrives on helping people. 2.5 years ago, he relocated to Southern California from Portland, Oregon, to help care for his elderly, soon to be 89 years old. His dedication to family and community is truly inspiring. With over 20 plus years of nonprofit leadership and community organizing experience, Malo owns Pacifica Impact LLC, a consulting firm specializing in organizational development, training, and diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. Belonging is so important. Curriculum development and training. Recently, Malo co founded the Pacifica Transgender Men Network, PTMN, a nonprofit organization established on April 30, aiming to support and uplift trans men of Pacific Islander descent. Welcome, Malo. Thank you so much. I was like, ah, it's been a minute, and I'm so grateful. Like, so much has happened, right? Like, so
Yeah.
much has happened. Like, tell me where you're at right now, and what's going on. What has your focus right now?
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity, Naki and Carl. I know you're tuning in remotely, and the Pacifica by Design family for having me on again. I'm zooming, or not zooming, but what is this, StreamYarding
Yeah.
from Hesperia, California, which is the ancestral lands of the Von Neumann
Yes.
tribe. So it's in the high desert area of Southern California. And if you're on your way from Los Angeles to Las Vegas and you blink, you miss me.
Oh,
Uh, so yeah, I'm here. I also help take care of my elderly father. I just served him his dinner with his PM pills. So hopefully he doesn't complain and you hear him right next door to me. Um,
I'm sure we won't. If he's eating, he's like me. I'm satisfied until I'm full.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I've been since relocating to Southern California, I've been resting. I haven't been community organizing as much. I finished up a term with the nonprofit in Oregon. It's called the People's Nonprofit Accelerator. Uh, Earlier this year in February, and I wrapped up all of my contractual obligations
Yes.
with some of the work that I had outside of California, so I can focus on some cool projects that I've made some time, space, and capacity for. And I'll talk a little bit more about it later on. Um, but yeah, it's been great, and happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride. Happy Pride. I'm glad you said you took some time off because during the pandemic, like I and I can attest to this,
Yeah,
you were 24/7, like there was
yeah,
no rest, right? And I
yeah.
love your dedication and and we were in meetings like every other day,
Right.
just it was just so crazy during that time that I'm glad you took the time for yourself and to, reorganize or like what, because after the pandemic, during, before, during, and after, right?
Yeah,
Crazy, crazy. The whole world changed because of the pandemic, and and everybody really started to talk about mental health. So I'm glad that you took the time to rest your mind, because you literally, like, all the time I turned around, you were in a meeting, you were presenting, you were just, it was too much. To me, it
yeah.
was too much. Too much. I need a break. I needed a break after too. So I'm glad to hear that you took care of yourself during that time, and that you made the decision to leave Oregon to spend time with your father, because of course that is the most important thing. But the work that you did in Oregon was like crazy. Utopia PDX, just blew up. And I can say blew up because of the work you and your team did, but of course you led the way. So I'm grateful for that, and that they were carrying on. Is it Virginia that's carrying it on?
Actually, Kameo is the executive
Oh
director
wow.
now, an incredible person. And Kaina Barba, who's their
Yeah.
director of advocacy
Oh,
and cultural programming, is
awesome.
still with Utopia PDX, and Joe Tufa, who's their director of operations. So yeah,
That's
a lot of my chosen family are still with the organization today, whether in working capacity or board leadership.
nice. I love it. I love it. I'm so proud of the work that you did in Oregon and continue to do where you're at now. Now, tell we I know we're going to go into this. We had a conversation like probably a month and a half ago, like you were planning doing this. You're like, oh, can we, I want to promote this and let's talk about it. And then I started to learn more and more, and I was like, oh my god, you now start from the beginning. Tell me what's happening June 27th.
Okay, so long story short, so Kazani Kalani Finau, who is one of the co-founders of Pacifica Transmin Network,
Hmm.
uh, he and I had Talanoa like March 27th,
I
or in
watched
preparation
that.
for Transgender Day of Visibility. And we're just talking about how it was to be Fatane,
Mhm.
and, how things were for us. And he and I met through Jane Melisina,
Oh yes, yes, yes. We love.
uh, who thought like, man, I need to get these two guys together,
Yeah.
because and so we started actually having weekly check-ins since like the end of last year, and to this day. So the dream was just born out of the need that there wasn't really a space for Pacifica Transmen,
Right. Right. So
and need that there wasn't
sorry.
really a space.
No problem.
Yeah, feedback. Um, and then when we did that Talanoa, people started reaching out to us, emailing us, and we have a really, really strong presence now, and it's continually to grow.
Yeah.
Um, and it feels good, like to have like a brethren or a brotherhood to lean into, especially for those of us that have chosen to medically transition. And yeah, it's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
I think when I was organizing with Utopia, my priorities were for everybody else, and little did I know I was neglecting a part of myself that needed a lot of nurturing and guidance. And now that I've had some time away, when I think about community organizing with this particular intersectional identity, I felt was the opportunity to really heighten it,
Mm-hmm.
amplify our voices, and bring a platform that would raise the visibility that we do exist and we're organizing for ourselves.
Yeah. I did watch that telenovela that you had, and I loved it because, we always talk about representation.
Yeah,
It's so important for everyone. Everyone of every gender. And when I was watching that, I was seeing the chat and seeing the people that were tuning in, like, yes, they needed, he needed, she needed to hear this conversation so that they didn't feel like they were alone. So I think that's what was one of the
yeah,
key things that I got from that telenovela. And I was so happy that you both did that, and that there's support. People know now there's support,
right.
or
So
before.
interestingly enough, Naki, when we had that telenovela, one of the people that was on there that was very, very interactive was Danny Boy Ve'evalu.
Wow.
And so that really leads to how the Samoan Community Development Center got involved. Was he advocated for us to have a program during Pride Month.
Right.
So this is the first time that a Samoan organization, let alone a Pacific Islander like mainstream organization, actually had, you know, put out some intentional programming for Pride Month. You know,
Yes.
it was always like left up to Utopia to
Right.
recognize our own people.
Right. We had to push ourselves.
Yeah, and it felt really great. And I definitely want to shout out Danny Boy because, um, you know, had he not been that voice, we would not have this event next week that you will also be covering for
Yeah.
us live. Um, and so that intention was really special because Danny and Boy go way back.
Mm,
When he was a film student at USC, he was filming little short interviews for Asian Pacific Islander equality. Uh,
mm,
this was like years ago. And he happened to be interviewing Leah and Alo, and then they were like, "Hey, you need to meet Malo."
so
And
awesome.
so he filmed me. We've been friends ever since. We also did like Pacifica Pride and one other event. I want to say it was Samoan Queer Lives, the
Mm,
book launch that happened like 5 years ago, I want to say. And Dr. David Palita's Vasa program had this incredible talanoa. Yuki was there. Jean was also there.
yeah.
And Asako. I mean, like, it was great. So that was a really wonderful support coming from Danny Boy, realizing that, wow, you know, here's these two guys, you know, just, you know, having their own little talanoa for Transgender Day of Visibility.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to help us, you know, elevate um, what we were doing. And now we have an actual board.
That's
um,
awesome.
yeah, with the state of California. So we're legally an entity. We're just waiting on the California Department of Justice to like sign off on us, and
Yeah.
then uh, the Franchise Tax Board. And
Yeah.
then the last piece would be with registering with the IRS to become our own 501c3 nonprofit.
That's so awesome. I love
Yes,
it. And it's rolling so fast, right? Because
it is.
I think
Uh,
it's just rolling so fast because when you're passionate about something and you know it's needed, we're lacking in that area. I
yeah, really, Naki. So Thursday night is really the just the first event for us, but we also are planning our PTMN board retreat. Um, so I do want to shout out NCAPIA, the National Queer Asian Pacific Islander Alliance,
nice.
because they have funded a chunk of our retreat, as well as being able to march on Friday, June 28th. Will be the first time we'll be marching together as PTMN for the Trans March. So we'll be starting at Dolores Park. We'll probably meet there like 4:30, and
Mhm.
then the march goes into like uh, what's that street? Market Street. Uh,
Market.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it ends like a few blocks from there. And then we have like a all day retreat on Saturday, and then Sunday we have a half day retreat, and we're planning out some things, and that's just one piece of what we've been doing. The other piece is that we actually reached out to our Fa'atama organization and group in Samoa, and they're called the Rogers.
Oh, nice.
So we talked to them. Ice and I've been talking together, and Ice is the president of the Rogers in Samoa. We've been talking for years, but recently we've reconnected, and so we had both of our groups actually meet each other on Tuesday night, and so I'm just gonna like say this thing. It's really cool because I just got word from Utopia PDX and Samoa Pacific Development Corporation. These are two groups that are very near and dear to me that are in Portland. And they actually are helping to fund to purchase 55 chess binders for 11 of the Rogers there in Samoa. And then I
Oh,
know, right? So it's pretty cool. I already had this conversation with ICE once I got the approval from both of the organizations and what they're able to do. That was one thing that was absolutely clear when we were speaking to one another, that they don't have gender affirming care in Samoa or even in American Samoa.
oh
So
wow.
the very least that they wanted, what was clear in our meeting was, hey, can you send some binders, some chest binders for us? Uh, and because like I'm trying to be resourceful, and knowing that a lot of our money is being tied up with other things that we're programming for PTMN, I reached out to Kaina uh, from Utopia PDX, and kind of pitched this idea. And then I wrote for a request for sponsorship to both Utopia PDX and SPDC last night, and then I
Oh
got I
God,
got the decision like earlier today.
that's so awesome.
I
That's
know, right? So I'm like super stoked about that. And also, one of my cousins, because you know how it is, like you have a big old suitcase full of stuff, instead of like sending it, through the regular postal,
yeah.
which would be weeks and cost more. One of my relatives, Langipo Eva, Dr. Cheryl Jackson, will actually be going back to Samoa
And
and
take you.
taking this huge gift for our brothers out there, the Rogers. So
Oh, that's so
very thankful for people like my chosen friends and family from Utopia PDX and SPDC, and it was a huge lift for like PTMN to have folks like jump in and say yes, we will help, and gladly and generously.
yes, yes. No, no questions asked. No questions asked.
Yes.
I love that. I'm the conversations that you'll be having next Thursday. Um, what will what will we be discussing? What is the topic? I mean, I know, but to explain the
Yeah.
experience, yeah,
You know, a podcast style, to me is really friendly, and the tone of like Fa'asola Malu is really not to be confrontational, or like it's really to have a decent conversation while we're in a relaxed state. And 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 being able to share of our lived experiences, like how is it to transition medically, like to be on testosterone therapy. And actually, a couple of our members already have top surgery.
mm,
So, it's like, how did we deal with our family and being in community? And I tell you, these young brothers, they're amazing. They're so multi-talented, because even getting to that part where we're talking, three of them, Kazani, Angel, and May, will be doing a spoken word piece, a
wow,
collective poetry. And we're excited.
yeah,
We're just absolutely excited. And the conversation, I mean, it could lead people to tears or to
yeah,
laughter, or because when we have our support talk every other Tuesday, we are laughing, we are
fine.
crying.
That's so.
um,
I
and
look forward to the conversation, but it's good. I know that it's going to be real and from the heart, because people are literally looking for support. We're hungry to find um, someone that is going through so that we're not alone, right? That so
right.
we're not alone. We're never alone. We just have to find our people. We just have to find our people.
Yeah, I have a trans brother who's Chamorro, that's in the Midwest, who is not out to his in-laws.
Oh,
So um, that, like, his social media is really restricted.
yeah,
But I always make time to be on the phone with him, even though he has like anxiety around
right.
group discussions.
Yes.
But I make time to speak with him, because he's alone. And then we have another a Palauan brother out in the East Coast that's in the military,
Oh,
that
wow.
is like nobody knows. like
Oh,
like
that's
in
so
his family,
hard.
like they have old pictures of him that's on his social media, because he hasn't posted any of his transition online. So uh yeah,
It's so hard.
pro- providing this space really, you know I've been vetting a lot of people into our group,
uh,
to ensure the safety and confidentiality of those that are involved, especially the ones that
uh,
aren't out to. Yeah, yeah,
but you're also having this space that you've created. You're
yeah.
saving lives, right? It's like there's only so much a person can handle, and to not be your true self is such a I can't imagine such a devastating thing to go through alone. To go
Right.
alone. So I appreciate this space that you've created, and that you're keeping in touch with your fellow brothers, and getting I mean, even just to talk to you, to have a shoulder to lean on,
Yeah.
that really warms my heart, because I know you may or may not know, and we always talk about you never know the person or the people or how many lives you're saving from even us having this discussion, talking about, the organization that you just created that is, blowing up, right? It's
Yeah.
it's
And
just
we're also dispelling myths too. Like
yeah.
our treasurer, um, who is a Chamorro trans man that lives in Washington, he is in a gay relationship with his spouse, his husband. So people think that just because you transition into a man that, you know, you're in a heterosexual relationship.
Right.
Um, and that's not the case. So I think like uh, being very cognizant about like not making assumptions
Yeah.
about people is really important, because then if you're asking questions and really seeking to connect with somebody,
Right.
you know, you will probably miss it when they don't respond
Right.
and it's like quiet. Because like if you're saying like, oh, how's your girlfriend,
Right.
and it's like, don't have a girlfriend,
Yeah.
have a boyfriend, have a husband actually, you
Yeah.
know. And so I think I'm learning from my brothers. In fact, our little saying and statement is that like core values is like brotherhood, unity, and strength.
Right.
Um, and it's and that looks different for some certain people, but for this group of guys, I mean, you know, I'm the girl Inga.
You're
I'm
just
like
a
an old guy.
baby. You're just a
And
baby.
they breathe life into me and purpose, and so I love it. You know, I absolutely love being around them. Being able to have a onboarding and leadership development board retreat with them, um, and then participate in like pride activities that mean something to us. You know,
Yeah.
so Trans March, and yeah, we'll be getting t-shirts. So Naki, I need to get your size, and you too, Carl.
Say it. I love t-shirts. I still have my cutie pie t-shirt that you gave me, and it's so funny. I wear it to work on my
Yeah,
our casual days, and my the president of where I work is
yeah.
LGBTQ community, right? She's a lesbian. All the time I wear it, I can hear her screaming out, "I love that t-shirt!" Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
so yes, I will take you up on that t-shirt. I just had a question about we
yeah,
have this campaign, Stop the Hate campaign. It regarding
yeah.
everything, anything. And with your transition, um, do you were you did you let me do you find it easier now for the youngsters? And you're not even that old, brother. Do you find it easier for them than it was for you, or do you feel any like did you have a hard time?
You know, I gotta give it up to these young brothers. I mean, their resolve and maturity and their pursuit of, you know, reconciling, you know, their body with who they are inside. They inspired me actually, you know, and of us all, I'm like the baby in terms of medically transitioning, like using tea. um, and it's a good trade off, but I feel like there's a fierceness of this younger generation that I absolutely admire, because I don't, I know, you know, if I, you know, 24, 23, in my 30s, there was no way that I would even think about this being a possibility for me,
Right.
you know. But seeing that it is open doesn't necessarily mean that uh, family is absolutely understanding and supportive.
Right.
Uh, and so they still have to deal with that cultural piece of living with family,
Mm,
and who of the family that they include in their lives. But they have really good boundaries for their protecting their peace
yeah.
and their mental health.
I feel like boundaries, and I'm old child, but like within the last couple of years, like I've really focused on my boundaries, and I've had to set them with really close family, you know what I mean? Like so I and it really is good for your mental health. Like it's so freeing. And no, like I always used to say, yes, 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 I'll do that.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, if I don't feel right about it, it's no, no. And you interrupting my square circle is no. But I really believe in setting boundaries, and I love. And then this generation, I feel
Mm,
like they're more not um, a little bit more, and not all, but they seem to be a little bit more confident in who they are, and I'm not really sure if it's because it's spoken about a little bit more. Not
mm,
because when I was growing up in the 70s, child, nobody, you know what I mean? It was voodoo. You couldn't speak
right.
about it, you couldn't. And I feel like now I think to me, to me, I feel like it's a little bit more um, normal conversation to have. And I don't know what I mean by normal. You know what I mean? Like everybody's normal is different, but
Yeah.
it's more open to have this conversation. I feel like with me, and I think because I'm older. When I was younger, I seen the elders don't talk about anything, and but with me and my kids, and with this generation, I'm more prone to being open minded with everything. Are you finding that too, or is it just me? I'm old.
Oh no, because I do have nieces and nephews, and I have great relationships with
Yeah.
them. And sometimes they test out things that they're about to tell their parents about.
You?
They try me out first,
Uh-huh.
and if I'm like thumbs up, and then I give them a time limit too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna give you 2 days, 48 hours. You need to tell your mom or dad, whoever my sibling is.
Yeah.
You need to tell them. And and if you don't, I'm gonna tell them. Because I don't believe in keeping secrets that I feel like parents may
Need.
not necessarily need to know, but I feel like by you telling me, now I got to hold this space, and I
Right.
don't feel comfortable knowing this, and my brother or sister doesn't know about it, right? And so I do listen to my nieces and nephews and try to help guide them.
Yeah.
And then I have such a great relationship with my great nieces and nephews, um, and I love returning them back to their parents and stuff.
Yes.
Such
Yes.
a great feeling and liberating. But I do really admire and envy the openness that I have, and I have a closeness, with all my nieces and nephews and their
Yeah.
families, and it feels really good, and they're very respectful of me, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I feel that, yeah, they'll express themselves, and sometimes it may come off as boldness, but I tend to like kind of I like it
Yeah.
because I was never somebody that um was kind of restricted to just stay within the walls or color within the lines.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love it. And I also feel like when your nieces or nephews come to you, like a little part of it in the back of their brain, they're kind of like, I'm going to tell my uncle, but I know a little bit, maybe, it's like
Yeah.
they kind of know you're going to tell their parents if they
Yeah.
don't, you know what I mean? And so it's to a limit, but because they trust you, right?
Yeah.
And that I think is beautiful, that they trust you and feel comfortable enough to come to you with anything and everything, knowing
Yeah,
that.
and it was cool. Like Father's Day, I took my dad down to my sister's church in Lakewood, which is an hour and a half from Hesperia.
Mhm.
It's a Samoan church, and like my nieces and nephews were so cute. They actually, fa'aula me,
Oh,
because of being like a parental father
yes,
figure for them.
yes.
So it was really nice, and I thought they were super thoughtful.
y-
And yeah, I enjoy, having my connection with my family.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now, have they always been accepting?
I think they didn't have a choice. So as
Oh,
I was learning about myself, they were also learning along with me.
good. That's so awesome. That's a blessing because, of course, we know, even though I talk about there's more, everyone's more open minded, but we still have conservative um,
Yeah.
Pacific Islanders, you
Oh
know?
yeah. Actually, my there's some folks in my family that are ultra conservative, and then there's some of us that are also like left leaning and liberal.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that stuff. We
Yeah.
know that it is a danger point when family gathering.
There. They,
Yeah.
chairs are going to be thrown.
Right. So we leave that stuff alone, especially when we get together.
Mm,
Super respectful and just reaffirming our family bonds. But
oh,
I do want to bring up something about, and I'm glad that you did it during community announcements regarding the application
yes.
for the NHPI Futures Project working group.
I know I have to fill out my app. I think
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, please.
I'm
I
going to do
mean,
it.
gotta do it.
Yes.
11:59.
So tell us about it and why it started and everything
Yeah,
about
yeah, absolutely. So, Tavai Samwelu, right?
it. She bought me this
she,
shirt that I have on. She's so, love her.
she is with the Asian Pacific Fund, and she happens to be a board member of Pacific Islanders in Communications. And so she was talking with the executive director, who is Cheryl Harasa, and, you know, about like, how do we get like a working group to work on a national survey and blah, blah, blah. Somehow my name came up, and Cheryl and I connected. And then Cheryl actually met Estella, Dr. Estella Church
Mm,
from Empowering Pacific Islanders Communities, EPIC, at a conference. And then, so it was Estella, Cheryl, and me, like this think tank brainstorming
smart.
on the possibilities of like, how can this look like? And you being in media know how difficult it is to disseminate information and also to vet good information to get out there to our communities. And so, um, you know, we formed this like group, and they're just great community partners. And we have a work plan that I've worked on. We're also going to be working with researchers to help guide this working group, and y'all are gonna work with me, so
Excited.
uh it's gonna be like nitty gritty stuff, but it's also gonna be fun, a really welcoming experience for anyone who joins this working group. We're highly seeking Pacific Islanders, um, for folks that have a degree in Pacific Island studies. Let me see. I want to get it right. Pacific Island Studies and or languages, journalism, filmmaking, mass communications, radio, television, broadcasting, creative writing, and or education and teaching, and any years of experience in the field or study of concentration. And if you don't have that, have a minimum of 6 years of work experience in any or a combination of these areas: print media, journalism, news media production, filmmaking, television and radio production and broadcasting, stage writing and production, book writing and publishing, cultural education or language teaching, training, ethical, cultural, social media information distribution and response coverage, accountable cultural art making, storytelling, and or culturally specific community and or faith-based organizing communications. So please, folks,
Yes.
get your get your applications in.
And I will repost that again on our social media and we'll
Yeah,
continue to talk about it until the 30th. And I'm going to apply. So look for
good.
But
Good.
I'm looking forward to the great work that's going to come out of that because it's needed as always. So thank you
And
for doing that. Thank you for doing that.
yeah, absolutely. And just being able to recognize certain things in community, certain gaps, and so I
Yeah.
have different avenues now on how I want to approach them. I don't need to be the forerunner or forefront, like I know how to send it through to certain people to be the agitators or reminders of certain things. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm a go inga now.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Tell me about your LLC.
Oh yeah, so this is part of the project. So um, one of the wonderful things that we found out during COVID is the ability to work remotely.
Hmm.
And a lot of my contracts are remote and building curriculum and gosh, I'm so sorry.
You're so busy.
Yeah, yeah. Gosh, okay, so sorry about that.
No, no, no.
Um, and picking and choosing the projects that I want to be a part of, and so um, I had a nice contract with the Asian Pacific American Network of Oregon, where I helped small emerging organizations just kind of build their structure.
Hmm.
Some of them didn't know if they wanted to necessarily become their own 501c3, if they still wanted to be fiscally sponsored by a larger organization. And it was just helping them. Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. You got a
Figures.
lot going on, so I told you. I have mine on mute, and mine keeps lighting up, and I'm like,
I put it on mute and it's like still going off. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry.
they're like, answer your phone.
Yeah, like what's up with that, right? And just being really fortunate to have built relationships with like municipalities, so like the California State, Department of Health, or and seeing like certain agencies needing, and we're really fortunate to live in California, or at least on the West Coast
Mhm.
states, where they do value diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. And so when they partner with me to co-create or co-design a curriculum and then train their not only their new folks that are being onboarded, but also their incumbent staff to be aware about the type of culture that they might be setting if they're not any of these things, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's meaningful work to help people grow
it is.
in their work environment so they can be cognizant of how they're treating people.
Right,
Because a
right.
lot of it is like, implicit bias, that they
Yes.
don't realize that they're saying or doing things that are actually super offensive
Yeah.
and insulting to a lot of their coworkers. And so we try to, intervene and disrupt that type of behavior, toxic behavior from perpetuating.
I love it. I love it. I mean, like, you are so busy, and all that time I check the social media, I'm like, what is he doing? He's over here. He's over there. He's over here. He's over here.
Oh, you mentioned Dr. Kalani Raphael.
Yes.
We were together in Salt Lake, and we should never sit together.
Oh my, I love Dr. I love Dr. Raphael.
Yeah, it was really great to reconnect with him and Melissa Leland from
Yes,
Arkansas
Arkansas.
Coalition of Marshallese, and then also with Lisa, who's doing wonderful work in Arizona. And I met some really cool people too from the Hawaii Island
Did you
Health
go to
Center.
Westpac?
No, I did
Oh, I
not.
would be so jealous of.
No, I didn't. But a lot of my loved ones, family, and friends were able to be a part of that wonderful experience. And yeah, I no, I didn't have anybody to really stay with Dad, and
Yeah.
I barely got coverage the time that I was able to go to Salt Lake. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm just putting a shout out to my nieces and nephews. I'm gonna be in San Francisco June 27th through the 1st of July. Somebody needs to help me with Grandpa.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
So ads. Oh, I love it. I can't wait to see you next Thursday.
Yeah.
I just appreciate all the work that you're doing. And I learn every time we have a discussion, and I'm so like conscious of anybody. When I meet
Yeah.
people, I don't assume anything, right? I
Yeah.
get I get the conversation flowing and try to figure out, where they're at, let them figure out where I'm at. I think the one thing that I've learned is from you is hard work. Hard work is just everything that you do since the first day I met you
Oh,
has
thank
been
you.
you've been doing it from your heart for the community and with passion. So I from the
Yeah.
first meeting we've got on, like everybody gets into the so we have these meetings. We used to have these meetings during COVID, and we would get on and they go, all right, Northern California, what do you have? And they're like, well, we were kind of doing this, and then we're going, all right, New York, what are you doing? Oh, Oregon, what's up? So in Oregon, we've treated 500 people. We've had that. And I was like, oh my God, like you've always been so organized, so put together. I look
Thank
forward
you.
to the great work that's coming out
Oh, thank
from
you.
everything that you're doing. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah,
And so,
absolutely,
any
Naki.
shout outs you want to get out before I let you get back to dinner and your
Yeah, I do actually. Want to shout out to the PBD family in Ainga. Thank you so much for giving me some time to explain some
anytime, any
couple of things that I'm doing that I think is relevant to the audience.
definitely.
And I also want to give a shout out to the Samoan Development
Someone
hold on,
community
Samoa
development.
Community Development Center,
Yes, yes,
SDDC, for hosting um, the Fa'asoa Fa'atana event next Thursday.
yes,
And I also want to shout out the Pacific Islander Regional Task Force. They
yes.
posted this really thoughtful um, explanation about like cutie pie and this other term that I'm gonna mess up because I forgot all the letters, but it's like MV.
MVP FOF plus.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
We just had this discussion on Tuesday
yeah,
with Dr.
yes.
Phelan. Yes.
So it was great to like see mainstream Pacific Islander organizations celebrating us.
Yeah.
For Pride Month, and I want to give a shout out to Kikoa Lopez
Oh,
for
okay,
working
cool.
on that
Yes.
because it was meaningful for her and then for all of us,
Yeah.
like to be a part of it. So shout out to Kikoa Lopez and then Danny Boy, the
Yes, Danny
Ivalu, I
boy.
love you, love you, love you, and then Kazani,
Yes.
Angel, May, Bex Bumble, and just everybody who's been supportive of PTMN and will become supportive, hopefully after Thursday.
Oh my
But
gosh, yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
thank
thank you
you.
so much for today. We're going to repost the flyer. We encourage you to please come join the conversation or tune in next Thursday. Of course, we will be FICAing from Samoa Community Development Center. Please
Yeah,
join us next week. Come down to SCDC 2055 Sunnydale Avenue, San Francisco. You'll get to meet Malo. You'll get to meet some amazing folks there. Join the conversation. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to get your mind. If your mind is open, it's going to wide open.
yeah.
But Malo, thank you for the work that you're doing. You continue to do with love and passion, and I love you. Anything you need, we are there. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Nikki.
I love you so much. Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone. Bye.
Oh my God. What it amazing. Malo is badass. You have to be there next Thursday, 27th at Samoan Community Development Center. We will be there. We will be going live. We will not be, well, I mean, that will be our FICA next week. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of the work that Malo is doing. Please tune in next week. We are here every Thursday. Come back to FICA with us. God bless you.